Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrapping Cane. Today I'm sharing an double 8.5 by 11 layout. This is for series 18, Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches. Here is today's sketch, and I will pop the name of the artist down below. I'm also going to use Stretch the Sketch, which is a series here on YouTube where they take one sketch that's 12 by 12 and then stretch it to a different size. You can make it smaller or larger. This one is kind of in between, I guess, because it's not really a double 12 by 12, but it's a double 8.5 by 11 layout. So there's the sketch again. I have a few photos of my son on Phil Day, which we used to call Beach Day because basically they went outside and played with a whole bunch of different water items and ran relays and stuff with water. But there wasn't any prizes, so there was no ribbons or anything like that. They just had a whole lot of fun on a hot sunny day, and usually it was towards the end of the school year, and they celebrated, being the end of the school year in almost summertime. So here I'm showing you the scraps that I have left from the Summer Vibes kit, which is by Echopark. And it is like a beach theme, so that's the reason I'm using it for these photos, because he is playing with water, he's in swim trunks, he's actually in those orange swim trunks that match this collection so well. And I'm going to get a little bit more of it used up. I use up actually quite a bit of it. I do bring in 2 wood grain papers, which are also from Echopark. Or actually, I think they're from Memory Planners. Yeah, I think they're from Memory Planners. We'll see here in a minute. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but basically, I have papers I've cut into because of the other layout that I created earlier in the month. Yeah, I believe it was earlier in the month. But I really love this collection. I love the colors of this collection. I wish I had more beach photos, but I don't. So I'm going to go ahead and just use up what I have and make it work. So this one here is a dark blue with like leaves, and then this one's like a water paper. I don't use a whole lot of these papers. I cut some waves out, and I use a few of the waves on the photo on the background just to add a little bit extra detail. But there's not a whole lot of water in these photos. Mainly he's on grass and he's running around. So these blue papers here, I wasn't sure if I was going to use that as my background or not. I decided to go with this like blonde wood color instead, and it just matched the papers a little bit better and it worked out better. So first, I'm going to mat all my photos on white and black cardstock. And then the main photo, I'm going to mat on like a brighter orange. And then I'm going to cut out 4 full-size circles and then 1 half circle. And in the sketch, she has 3 circles, right? Yeah, she has a half circle and then a really large circle and then another circle. And then she has the really cool, like, swirly sun at the top. I did create the swirly sun with my silhouette. I just found black and white artwork on Google and downloaded it to the silhouette and cut it out. And it worked out perfectly. I love the sun on this collection. It came out just great. So I'm going to tape the 2 papers together while I add the large half circle, because I want it to cross the 2 layouts. And I didn't want the layouts to be moving apart while I was doing that, just to make sure that I get it attached correctly before I cut it. So here's the stripe paper. That's the one I'm going to use for that large circle down at the bottom. And in the sketch, she also shows the waves because her layout is also like a beach type layout, but I didn't have beach photos to use. So I decided to make it work for these ones. And I love the way that it turns out. And Kristen Foster actually is the artist for this sketch. So, and like I said, I'm playing along with Stretch the Sketch, which is by Janet Fritz, and MK Gunn plays along too. There's quite a few other YouTubers. I'll leave a playlist down below, along with the 30 Days of Sketches playlist. There'll be lots of other people that'll be doing the sketch as a single page layout, but I love how it turned out as a double page layout. So the photos up here that are square, he's playing with a sponge, like it's filled with water, and then they had to carry it across the field different ways. First, like a crab walk, and then they had to carry it like between their chin and their chest and try to crawl with it. And either way, they had to get it to the bucket on the other side. And then this photo down here where I'm working now, and I'm putting the little palm tree and a little, like, it's a beach basket with items in it. He squeezed the sponge on his backside. His friend did actually, and it went down in his shorts. So that's why he's making the funny face, because the water was really cold. And then the other photo on the first page, he's just laying down in the grass on the tello, kind of waiting until he gets to go play at the next station. So here's some little, like, what are those? Surfboards. And I used all of the surfboards off of the sticker sheet just because I knew I probably wouldn't be using them again. Like I said, we don't go surfing, we don't live by the ocean. So even if we did, like if we go on vacation or whatever, I'm not into saving my papers anymore. I no longer do that. I use them when I can. So if it's going to fit on the layout, I'm going to go ahead and use it. So that's what I did here is I stacked up all those little surfboards. I also put a little popsicle up there that was multicolored, and that was just to add a little bit of pop of color up there. It's not a surfboard, but it kind of looks like it. So I just popped it up there along with a little flower, a little palm, what is that? A palm tree, and it says the best. So the title is actually The Best Beach Day Field Day, which is basically what we called it. There's a little towel with the umbrella. I just thought that was kind of cute since he's laying on a towel. And add it down here at the bottom and then start adding my title. My title, I'm just going to add in that empty green space on the photo with the green grass. And like I said, it just is going to spell out Beach Day. These letters are by Vicky Booten, and you can color them, but usually I leave them white. I don't think I've colored these ones at all. I've colored a few other ones of hers, but these ones, I don't think I've ever colored. I like them, the white, and then they have like a little tiny, like grid polka dot design in the background of them. So I put two more little surfboards down here at the bottom, and then I'm going to put Field Day right on top of it. And I am using liquid glue to glue those down, make sure they stay in place. And do that. And then over here, I'm going to add the number 2, which is another one of those little chipboard letters. And then the doodlebug letters that are going to read second grade. And again, that's just so that we can tell the layouts apart from which school year, because he did this for 6 years. Actually, yeah, 6 years, because kindergarten no, actually 7 years. Yeah, because he went to kindergarten at this school too. So yeah, so we have 7 years of Field Day pictures that pretty much all look the same, except for, he's wearing different swim trunks and he's a little bit older in each of them. But for some reason, I have lots of Field Day photos to scrapbook because it's not one of my favorite ones to do. One, because they're running around and the photos aren't the best, but also just, I don't know. I don't know why I haven't scrapbooked them, but I noticed when I was going through his albums to look for photos to scrapbook, I have a lot of Field Day pictures to do. So this is one more in the books, and actually I'll probably have another one next month because he's wearing American flag shorts that he had cut, and so it looks like 4th of July. So I'm going to use actually a Miss Kate kit. Hopefully I'll be able to make that work for a Field Day layout. I haven't seen the kit yet, so we'll see how that works out. But anyways, I'm going to add the little banner stickers up here at the top. I also added the other little surfboards up there in the middle of the 3 photos, and then a beach ball. And I did pop up the little tabs that I'm putting up here on the string, and that is just baker's twine that's black and white. And I did tie the ends of it, and I actually made it a little bit too small, but in the end it works out. I was able to fit all 5 pieces back up across the top, so it worked out. And I believe that's almost it. I tucked the little waves in. I don't think I talked about that. Just around the layout, I wasn't really too particular where they went. I just wanted them to be in the background. And then here I'm putting the little sun rays back down. I did put just a little bit of liquid glue as I laid the cut file back on top so that I knew where to add those back in, and it worked out perfectly. I just popped those around, and I love this layout. I really like the way that it turned out in all of the colors and all the pattern papers that I used on it. And matting the photos in black and white worked out perfectly because they don't blend in with the background at all. So here's a few close-ups. I hope to see you guys around. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. This was a lot of fun playing along with Stretch the Sketch. I've never done this before, but I've definitely stretched a sketch before, so I will have to play along again next month. Bye!